Hi everybody, welcome to IPO Stocks channel. Today I present you a new episode. Specifically, I will give you 5 top IPO stocks for 2021. So this is part 2 of the series, and if you missed part 1, definitely have a look on my channel for the top IPO stocks of part 1 because these have excellent characteristics as well. And if you are into IPO stocks, so please check out that video on my channel. Okay, so these IPO stocks today have good growth and good momentum, and they are very young companies and they are in strong sectors, so they could have huge runs going forward. In my opinion, these are 10x companies, so it definitely pays if you watch that video until the end with me and have a look at all of these strong stocks. So before I start right off with the first top IPO stock, I have to make a short disclaimer. This video does not constitute financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only, so please consider that. And also one more quick note, please subscribe now to my channel with a link in the description below and hit the notifications bell so that going forward you do not miss any market leading stocks from me. So please subscribe now. Okay, so that was it for the intro. So let's start right off with the first top IPO stock for 2021 for today, and it is LOB, Live Oak Bank Shares. Here you can see the long-term chart of Live Oak, and as you can see, Live Oak was an IPO in around July 2015, and after its IPO you see it broke down. It started, let's say, around $18, broke down to $12. Again, we see there is risk involved with IPO stocks, but then we could recover. We formed a nice uptrend, but then we had a stronger correction starting, let's say, around July 2018. We from the highs we traded from $33 to, let's say, around below $10. Made the low around March 2020 in Live Oak, but we reversed from these lows together with the overall market traded to the upside, and we broke the downtrend, let's say, around August 2020. And since then we have been in a very strong uptrend for Live Oak Bank shares. Very strong, yeah, very strong and nice uptrend. We see as well in that up leg or uptrend. Here for instance, here we had a nice bounce of the 100-day recently, and so this stock is looking excellent. It's trading higher and higher, and when we look at the growth characteristics, these are very excellent as well. The EPS growth, it's very strong with plus 527%, and so is the sales growth, it's plus 52%, and the relative strength rating, it's good with 93. So I think with these strong characteristics, this bank stock is definitely a top IPO stock for 2021. Okay, so that was it for Live Oak. And by the way, okay, I call these stocks IPO stocks when they are, let's say, around 5 to 6 years after their IPOs, because or between 5 to 6, not longer than 5 to 6 years after their IPOs. I watch out for these young companies because, yeah, I don't want to buy the youngest stocks. As we see, often they develop strong downtrends. So it definitely pays often if you watch out for these young stocks to start strong uptrends, and then it's when I'm getting on board. And overall, I like young stocks because 95% of their super performance is happening in their first 10 years after their IPOs. So I think that's why it definitely pays to watch out for young companies. So, okay, so that was it for Live Oak. So now let's have a look at the next top IPO stock, and it is ATOM, Atomera. Here you can see the long-term chart of Atomera, and as you can see, Atomera was an IPO in August 2016, and then again here breakdown after the IPO, strong down move from, let's say, around $8, traded down to $2.40. Yeah, strong correction move, and then yeah, you see that correction took quite some time, but we broke the downtrend, I would say, let's say around May 2020, and then we traded to the upside strongly and developed a nice and strong uptrend. And in that uptrend, you see here, for instance, we bounce here around the 150-day, the orange line, undercut it a little bit, or we could say we bounce here of the 200-day line. Here we bounced to the upside, and recently we came just back to the 150-day line. So I think soon we could see also a bounce in Atomera. And when we look at the growth characteristics, I mean, you see the growth is not the best. The EPS growth is plus 3%, but the relative strength rating it's good with 92. And Atomera is in a hot sector in the semiconductor space, which has been a strong performer over the last 5 to 10 years, very strong performer. And I think it will be a strong performer going forward because these semiconductors, we will need them going forward more. And now we are needing them more than ever. And I think that is here to stay. And so I think Atomera is definitely a top IPO stock for 2021. Okay, so that was it for Atomera. So now let's have a look at the next top IPO stock, and it is TWST, Twist Bioscience. Here you can see the long-term chart of Twist, and as you can see, Twist was an IPO in October 2018. After its IPO, it had a strong up move and then a longer-term sideways consolidation phase, I would say, and we had a breakout around May 2020 of that sideways consolidation phase, and we have been forming a strong uptrend since then. And in that up leg, for instance, here you see we had nice bounces around the 50-day moving average, but now we are experiencing a stronger correction phase or base building phase in that uptrend here. And I think soon, for instance, the breakout above these highs. Do you see that line here? Here. Or I could draw a line, for instance. So we draw the line here. Yeah. So I think a breakout above this line would be an attractive entry. There would be we could see an attractive entry point when we break out above this line. For instance, here we had this was resistance, here resistance. So I think that line here, that level around 150 would be an attractive entry level for Twist Bioscience. And when we look at the growth characteristics for Twist, I mean, the EPS growth, it's sluggish, it's minus 51%. But the sales growth, it's very good with plus 85%. And the relative strength rating, it's good as well with 92. So I think with these characteristics, Twist is definitely a top IPO stock for 2021. Okay, so that was it for Twist. So now let's have a look at the next top IPO stock, and it is PINS, Pinterest. Here you can see the long-term chart of Pinterest, and as you can see, Pinterest was an IPO in April 2019. After its IPO, it formed a nice IPO base, but it could not break out. No, it broke down. I mean, you can see we started trading in Pinterest around $23.70. And then we broke down to $11. It's also more than a 50% correction. Strong or around 50% correction again. These IPO stocks have risk, and it can pay if you wait until they develop strong uptrends. And we can see here as well, we broke the downtrend, let's say around July 2020, traded to the upside and have been forming a nice uptrend since then. And in the short-term chart, we see that uptrend here, and we see as well currently we are having here a consolidation, or let's say a base building phase. We're correcting a base building phase, pausing phase in that uptrend here. And I think soon we could break out here of that base, of that pausing phase, and continue with the overall uptrend in Pinterest. And when we look at the growth characteristics, I mean, the EPS growth, it's sluggish, it's minus 349%, but the sales growth, it's very good with plus 67%. And more or less all these IPO stocks in the recent years, they have been more or less trading on sales growth than EPS growth. So the sluggish EPS growth does not concern me very much. And the relative strength rating in Pinterest, I mean, it's 91. This is good as well. So I think with these strong characteristic and with its very strong interactive social media platform, I think Pinterest is definitely a top IPO stock for 2021. Okay, so that was it for Pinterest. So now we come to the last top IPO stock for 2021 for today. And it is SNAP, Snap. Here you can see the long-term chart of Snap. And as you can see, I mean, Snap was an IPO in February 2017. And again, these IPO stocks can be risky. It started trading around $24, and you see it developed quickly after its IPO, a strong downtrend, and traded down to $5. I mean, around 80% correction, strong correction, but then it made the low, it reversed from this low and broke the downtrend, let's say around April 2019, and it has been forming an uptrend since then. But we had a swift or brief Corona breakdown as well in Snap, but we could recover quickly from that Corona breakdown last year and continue with a strong uptrend. Short-term chart, I mean, we see that strong uptrend, and we see as well currently we are building another base pausing phase in that up leg here. I think soon, for instance, above the breakout above these levels here, this could lead to another strong up leg in Snap above these levels. You see, I mean, here we had resistance here, we had resistance here. So I think a break above these levels, this could be an excellent time to get on board in Snap. And when we look at the growth characteristics, again, the EPS growth, it's sluggish currently for Snap, it's minus 33%. But the sales growth, it's very good with plus 57%. And these IPO stocks, many of them and many stocks have been trading more on sales growth or revenue growth over the last years, and not only earnings growth. And the relative strength rating, I mean, it's very good with 91. So I think with these characteristics, Snap is definitely a top IPO stock for 2021. Okay, so these were the top IPO stocks for 2021 for today. I hope in that video are some nice IPO stocks which you can use for your research. And also please subscribe now to my channel with a link in the description below and hit the notifications bell so that going forward you do not miss any market leading stocks from me. So please subscribe now. And I think this year will be an exciting stock trading and investing year with all that fiscal and monetary stimulus going on around the world from all of these central banks and government. I think this massive liquidity has to flow somewhere, and in the end, I think it will lead into an asset price inflation, and it will funnel its way into the stock market. And I think we will see higher and higher stock prices. And currently, we are seeing many of these indices are breaking out. Yeah, the tech growth stocks are a little bit sluggish still, or many of the tech stocks, but I think they soon they will come back strongly and they will go to higher and higher highs, because in the end, the tech stocks is where some of them have excellent profits and excellent earnings. So I think also they will have strong performance gains going forward. So thank you for watching that video, and I hope to see you again soon. Cheers.